Hello, we're here with Kong Do, the CEO of BioVie. Kong, great as always to have you.
Greg, thank you so much for having me back. Pleasure to be with you today.
Absolutely, Kong. BioVie recently announced some unexpected findings on how your drugs affect aging. Please tell us more.
Very excitedly and very unexpectedly, in our recent Alzheimer's clinical trial, we analyzed the patient's blood samples and found that patients treated with NE3107 saw a 3.3 years reduction of their biological age as measured by the Horvath DNA methylation skin blood clock. Sorry, it's a very technical word, but that's what it is.
Now, we all have a chronological age. What is a biological age or the biological clock, and how does your drug affect it?
Well, it's important to start by knowing that everything in our body is encoded by our genes and our DNA. But we also know that our behavior on such things as diet and exercise, as well as environmental factors, also affect what happens to our body. Right? So there's a study, a science called epigenetics, which is the study of how non-genetic factors work in conjunction with our genetic code to accelerate or slow the biological aging process. And in this arena, Dr. Stephen Horvath from UCLA is perhaps the leading figure in the field. And he created something called the Horvath DNA methylation blood skin clock. I know it's a mouthful, but that's what it's called. And that's used as a measure of the biological age of our body, which may be different from the number of years since we've been born. And Dr. Horvath's team analyzed the samples from our trial and showed that treatment with NE3107 reduced the patient's biological clock age by 3.3 years as measured by this blood skin clock.
So, Kong, does this mean that your drug can help all of us live to be 100?
Well, I think it's a little too early to comment on something like that. All we know at this point is that NE3107 may have an impact on the biological aging process, and thus it may be the first drug candidate to have this effect. But there are still many, many things we do not know, such as does the effect increase if we take the drug for a longer period of time? Or how does this impact various age-related diseases? So we have taken just the first step, and we're looking to work with collaborators and others to explore NE3107's full potential in the biological aging process.
Now, hold on a second here, Kong. You said that this study was in a group of Alzheimer's patients, but it seems to me that it could benefit everybody. What do you think?
I think you're absolutely right here, Craig, but we need to do more studies to really show for sure. We know that inflammation is a reality for everyone, and NE3107 blocks this inflammation, and that's how it has this impact on reversing the biological aging process. And so by blocking inflammation, it should be able to work for everyone, but we need to study that further to be able to know for sure.
Kong, what can we expect next regarding your work on addressing age-related disorders?
Well, we need to learn more ourselves. We're experts in Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and we're quickly learning more about aging. So our priority right now is to find collaborators and seek collaborations with others who are experts in this field to explore how NE3107 can contribute to addressing aging-related disorders. That's our priority for the next year.
Your work is exciting and inspirational, Kong. Thanks so much for being with us.
Craig, thank you so much for having me here today to discuss our work. I, too, am very excited about what we're doing, and I look forward to seeing how NE3107 may contribute to addressing aging-related disorders. Looking forward to doing that in 2023.